Hey guys, Emily here and welcome back to my channel. So today marks about 2 months exactly since our first lamb was born on the homestead. So I thought I would kind of do a little bit of an update, and we just got back a day ago from our last beach trip. So I thought it'd be kind of cool to show you the garden and some of the other garden areas actually. So out here you see the moms and 2 of the babies. So those 2 babies that are out there are both the rams. And then you can see how big some of them gotten. So that's one of the mamas, that's one of the ram lambs, and he is every bit almost as big as his mom right now. And the same kind of down there with them. Now our 2 bottle babies are sticking close to me, and they are right here. So we have been working on slowly weaning them. So this one's Sunday. She was our very first lamb born, and this one's Abigail, and she was a twin that was rejected. So what's interesting is we actually determined, because Sunday is our oldest one, and you can see she's significantly smaller than the other one. She actually has a cleft palate, so the roof of her mouth did not form properly and did not close. So bottle feeding her has been a bit interesting, but she has so far been doing well, and so we are keeping her around for as long as she seems to have a good quality of life and be enjoying it. And my little bottle babies are the best. I love them. So the 2 ram lambs we're actually going to sell. Neither of them have been castrated or anything, but we're going to sell the 2 ram lambs, and we're getting in fresh, a ram that's not related to anybody else around here, maybe this summer or even into the fall, to kind of bring some new genetics into our flock. So I'm going to pause this and walk up to show you the garden. Alright, so I'm going to go up here and show you Caleb's little garden first, since it has not been seen this year on the channel. There are our other chickens that we got earlier this year as chicks, who are ready to go out with the big girls. We just haven't merged them yet. So one thing that I got asked on Instagram the other day was, what do we do when we go out of town? And so actually most of the time our animals are self-sustaining, except for the dog. She either comes with us or we have to leave one of us home to take care of it. But with the rest of our animals, they're pretty self-sustaining. We can just feed them up and water them heavily and let them go. The lambs this year, we actually had somebody come and pet sit, so that way I can make sure they were still getting fed. Alright, so here is Caleb's bed. So he planted it the first year that we moved in, and with the exception of the tomatoes, we've pretty much just left it alone and let everything come back as it would. So we have strawberries in here, we have sage, echinacea, we have balloon flower. We have this pumpkin that came from the pumpkin he sprinkled out here last year. We have oregano. We have a ton of catmint that has been popping up all over the bed, because I don't know if you remember, last year we had a huge catmint plant right there, and it died over the winter. And so seeds are everywhere. But this is Caleb's cherry tomato that he planted. And this thing is huge. And you can see that he actually has cherry tomatoes that are ready to be picked and enjoyed. Alright, so around this are still some trees that have not been planted yet. Pawpaw, allspice, stuff like that. The Japanese beetles have started to hit us, as you can see on this basil. So we're working on figuring out a solution for that. So this is chrysanthemum lining our pathway that I got for free from a local trade shop. And then going around, this is kind of the front of his bed. So it looks a little bit like a jungle, but it looks fabulous to me. And I love that there's so many different herbs and edibles in here that we can harvest from. And that pretty much there's so much in here that we don't have to weed the bed anymore. So we also have some rosemary, We have some marigolds that have popped up from seeds, and I love it. All right, so now we are headed out to our garden. So you can tell that everything has just exploded and flourished. And one thing I want to share real quick is we'll go past our regular laying hens to show you the turkeys. So right before we went on vacation, we moved the turkeys out to this pen to give them a little bit more space. And it is filthy in there already. So we're going to be moving them to the chicken tractor to give them even more space now, but they have gotten so big. All right, so back to the garden. Everything has gone crazy. So you can see my wildflower row is definitely perking up, and you can start identifying the wildflowers. My green beans, we're starting to have green beans that actually, ones that are about that size can be picked now because they're supposed to be petite green beans. My dry beans are looking great. You can see there's some really big ones forming back there. Coming around, our cucamelons and cucumbers are looking good. So this is like our compost bin for the year. You can see how big the tomatoes here have gotten, and I just threw those in here. And I think I saw that we actually have a cucumber that is ready. Yep, so right in there we have a cucumber that's ready to be picked. So after we get off this, I'm gonna come back and pick it. All right, so our peppers are looking fabulous. We have some great sized jalapenos forming. We have a huge bell pepper over here. Shishitos, they look like they're ready to be picked. Poblano's looking good. And then we have our banana pepper that's definitely ready to be picked over here. Eggplant's doing good. My herb beds have gone crazy while we were gone. So we had a nice bit of rain and stuff, and that really helped, so we didn't have to worry about watering. So they're looking good. Everybody's enjoying it. Our tomatoes over here are looking good. We still don't have anything planted in this area, but eventually we will. So whatever that ended up being, I think it's probably cantaloupe. Actually, I think it is cantaloupe, just judging from the leaves. So this is the other herb bed. And look how tall that mugwort has gotten. That is crazy. And then the borage has really come out, and the mint. So coming around this way, Caleb's cotton is looking good. His peanuts are looking fabulous. And we actually have a volunteer tomato from last year that popped up. That's looking really good as well. All right, so coming around here, these were just kind of extra tomatoes I planted. They're looking good. Our onions are, it's almost time to probably pull them. Some of the tops are starting to die back. And I'm looking forward to that because I have mustard that I want to plant here I actually saw this on Clarkson's farm with Jeremy Clarkson. He did mustard. He made English mustard from scratch, and he grew like his own mustard seeds and stuff. So I got a blend of different mustards that I'm going to plant here and harvest the seeds and try to make my own little micro batch of it. We finally have a few carrots coming in, not very many, but the chamomile's doing great. Celery is still doing really good. The beets are looking amazing. Coming around here, that's the wild sunflowers we did. The nettles have really come out. And then I'm actually going to show you one other area of our yard. So, that is that is our strawberry and asparagus patch that we seriously need to thin come next year, because it's been taken over by all that weed and stuff. So we're probably going to cut down the amount of strawberries by half. But this is the new garden area or herb area that I've been working on. I need to get out here one evening and do some work on it. But Caleb painted that structure as part of his old swing set. But we have our fig tree started over there, nasturtiums, some other things, lemongrass, citronella, lamb's ear, more echinacea, valerian, stuff like that. And eventually it'll all grow in, I hope. But for right now, we're just trying to get it started and kill the weeds and everything. And if you looked at some of our previous videos, this was actually a huge knot of dead trees, like dead pine trees and stuff that we had to burn down, get rid of. They had like asbestos towels like in the middle of it or something. It was a hot mess. So this is our orchard that we planted just last year. So our apple tree is doing great. That is our pear tree, our other apple tree. This over here is a plum tree that we just planted this year. And we actually got one plum off of it last week. And then there's another plum that we'll get hopefully soon. Then there's a little cherry tree that we planted that's actually from my granddad's house. And then going along here to do a little bit more of a tour is our blackberries that we planted last year. And you can see a lot of them have fruit. And actually, this one looks like it has fruit that is pretty much ready. So I'm going to go ahead and pop this one off and go in and share it with the boys so we can all have a little taste of it. But yeah, that's it. I just wanted to give you a little update because I personally could not believe how much the garden had flourished while we were gone and how much everything else has grown. And we got our grapevines all trimmed. But if you have a good solution for Japanese beetles, please comment and let me know, because they just became a problem last year and they are steady here. We do have some Japanese beetle traps set up on some bits of our property, but I don't know if they're doing anything or not. They're far away from the rest of the garden and stuff, so hopefully that helps. But I don't know if that's a good solution or not. So if you have a good solution, please comment below, and I will see you next time.